Hey guys, Paranoid here, back with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Before we get started, if you would hit that like and subscribe button, helps me out quite a bit. Today we're going to be doing a spotlight on Coffin Smasher and how he can perform in your clan boss team versus someone say like a Tyrell or a J-Reg. So here is my Coffin Smasher, have him 60, 6-star ascended. The gear that I have on him, I am running a 2-piece accuracy set and then the 4-piece lifesteal. His total stats, he's at 58,000 health, 1100 attack, 2700 defense, 177 speed. Crit rate is 48%, crit damage 89, and debuff accuracy is 227. Now I do have him in a pair of speed boots because that is what I needed in order to hit the speed tuning with this gear. He is kind of thrown together with some gear that I had left over. Would ultimately like to get him in some HP boots and still hit the speed numbers that we need to have him tuned. Let's go over his kit. His A1 attacks one enemy 3 times. Each hit has a 15% chance of placing a 50% decrease attack debuff for 2 turns. That is the large version of decrease attack. Damage is based on HP, and when it's skilled up, that debuff chance goes up to 30%. So that is 30% chance 3 times every time he attacks with his A1. His A2, he attacks one enemy, has a 50% chance of placing an HP burn debuff for 2 turns. Damage is based on HP, and when booked up you can actually get that up to a 75% chance to place the debuff. His passive is he decreases the damage enemies inflict with AoE attacks by 5%. So you're going to take the first 2 attacks from the clan boss and decrease it by 5% every round. Masteries I have him in. I have him going down the attack tree, the offense tree, pretty basic, getting down to Giant Slayer since he does have that 3-hit A1. And then I have him in the support tree, taking him down to Master Hexer for that chance to, it gives a little bit more accuracy, and then also that chance to extend the debuffs on the clan boss by 1 turn. Can turn that 2-turn HP burn into a 3-turn, and so then you only have it down for 1 turn. I also have him with Sniper on, just an extra 5% to land those debuffs. And I put him in Lore of Steel to increase the set bonuses of basic artifact sets. Gives me a little bit extra accuracy. However, I do think I will probably change this over and go to the Cycle of Magic. That 5% chance, if I get that cooldown, if I get the cooldown on the HP burn, then can have some more uptime on HP burn and be more damage overall. Alright, let's take him into a Ultra Nightmare battle here. And you can see he was in my Nightmare team when I ran it this morning. Was able to 1-key Nightmare with him in there as the lead. Now, one of the things you're going to sacrifice with him, I am losing that defense lead that I get from Tyrell. So that does kind of hurt a little bit with no lead on him. Wish he had like an HP lead or something like that. But he's a rare, so you get what you get. Take him in here. We're going to get everything all set up. So first thing, Draco is going to start with his poisons on this one. I'm going to go ahead and get that decrease attack up. A1 from Skull Crusher. Martyr's going to go ahead and give us a counterattack in that big shield. And an A1 from Jarl. Now here I'm going to keep the decrease, or the A1 from Draco. We will attempt to place the HP burn. Didn't get it on that turn. A1. Draw's going to be his A2. Now we're going to go with Draco's A3. And now that's going to keep us in the rotation that we're going to have the decreased defense and weaken up for both of the clan boss AoEs, so that whenever everybody's counterattacking, they are going to get those Giant Slayer and War Master procs with the decreased defense and weaken debuff up. And at this point we can just auto. You can see he does land that decreased attack pretty well, that 30% chance on the 3 hit. In the 2 runs that I have tested with him before this one last night and the Nightmare one this morning, I have not had a single turn that the clan boss went without a decreased attack on. Now I do find if the debuff is stacked up there, we got the Tomb Fire landed. I do find that if the debuff is stacked up with more than 1 turn left on that decrease attack, then a lot of times it won't land unless he's going from 2 turns to 3 turns because of the Master Hexer. But like right there, there are 3 turns of decrease attack, so it doesn't show the decrease attack landing because we could not extend that debuff at all. There it was at 2 turns, he landed it and went back up to 3. Now, I'm going to slow it down. I want you to watch as the damage ticks off here. Not sure if you caught it, but one thing that I noticed that I was actually very pleasantly surprised with, most of the time with a rare, if they have an HP burn, they get the lower version of the HP burn. For instance, Bulwark, when his HP burn lands on Nightmare or Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss, it only ticks for 25,000. For Coffin Smasher, you still get the full HP burn. It is a 50,000 tick, so it's basically like having an extra dot of poison up when he does have that debuff on. So you guys can see here how the rotation's going. That is the 3rd time he's gone for the Tomb Fire skill, and he's landed it 2 of the 3 times, so kind of sticking right there with that 75% chance to proc it. His damage being based off of HP, he does get some decent damage off on his auto attacks, even though I don't even have him at kind of the optimal level of HP. Would like to get him up closer to 70 to 80k HP and around 3,000 defense. His crit rate is okay around the 50% mark, but obviously if we can push that up to the 60% mark, or I'm sorry, to the 80% mark, to where we're critting more often. There we had the extended buff from Valkyrie with the lasting gifts, which then shifted the clan boss's stun from Jarl to Coffin Smasher and got us a free counterattack out of that. And if you watched my other video, you will notice that Skull Crusher is not in lifesteal gear, he is in stalwart gear. The reason for the stalwart gear on the Skull Crusher is because the game registers the ally protect damage as AoE, and so it actually reduces that incoming damage by 30%. The Valkyrie shield is large enough to keep him protected until way late in the fight, to where the mitigation that he gets from the stalwart gear and the size of her shield, the clan boss's AoEs never make it through to his health bar. Not till about 8.5 to 9 minutes will you start seeing Skull Crusher's health bar even move. And then I do have him set up with the Mastery that he gets 5% lifesteal when attacking under 50% health. If he gets a decent War Master proc with the decreased defense and weaken up, that can give him a little bit of health back and extend it just a little bit. But usually by that point, the clan boss is hitting so hard that his stun is taking out, is starting to one-shot targets, so you're towards the end of the fight anyway. I don't know if you caught it there as it rolled off. Skull Crusher, the ally protect damage that rolled off was 1100 versus the almost 15,000 that was going off on just the standard. Here we're going to have again, the sun is going to come down on Coffin Smasher because Jarl did get the lasting gifts bonus from Valkyrie. So he's going to place his block debuffs and increase defense. Still have a turn of counter up, which then shifts it over to Coffin Smasher. Tombfire didn't land there, that's a little unlucky as we're getting late into the fight. Now, one thing you'll notice here, the rotation on Draco's A3 actually wound up off a little bit. The reason for that is I have him with the Mastery that gives him the chance to lower the cooldown on his skills. I actually need to change that Mastery and take it off of him because we need his A3 up for both of the clan bosses' AoEs. That's going to increase the amount of damage that we get. It is nice every once in a while to get that extra cooldown on the poisons and have some extra poisons in the bar, but usually we can only get 2 more poisons out of that because of the spots that we have available in the bar, and then it throws the rotation off for the rest of the match. So that is a Mastery that I'm going to go back in and I'm going to switch over. Just a clutch War Master proc there. So as you can see here we are nearly 11 minutes into the Ultra Nightmare clan boss fight. We have a rare in the lead with no aura skill, and we have not lost anybody yet. Next round, we're probably going to lose Jarl on this stun because he is not getting the extra turn of stun, or the extra turn of counterattack, so the stun is going to come in Jarl here. He was able to hold out and got that one extra prop. So RNG is definitely on our side so far here late in the fight. Always nice to see. Hopefully we can go through and get another round of corpse fire up. Put out a little bit more damage here at the very end. And you can see the decrease attack is still up. We have not lost it all this fight. Unfortunately, we missed on that corpse fire. So there you have it. We have 25.73 damage done total. Dracomorph coming in with 11 million. Jarl at 3.7. Skull Crusher at 2.5. Coffin Smasher at 4.4. And Valkyrie at 4. So our rare outperformed everybody in this comp except for Dracomorph. My Valkyrie has 6,700 defense, my Skull Crusher has 4,500 defense, and my Jarl has 4,500 defense. And Coffin Smasher is coming in with the second most damage done. Like I said, I can definitely push those numbers up with some more dedicated gearing efforts, not just throwing on there what we need to hit some decent accuracy numbers and get them speed tuned. So hope you guys enjoyed that. If you do have Coffin Smasher out there, if you're running a Tayrell and you're running into the issue that I was having with Tayrell, where his auto on when you would put him on auto and he ran his A2, he would put up that decreased defense, which then Draco would not attempt to do his A3 until the decreased defense had fallen off, because Tayrell's is on a 4-turn cooldown. It throws him out of sync. And so I was winding up where Draco was not putting up the decreased defense and weaken when he should. Therefore, he wasn't putting out damage on the turns that he should have been putting out damage on, so he wasn't healing himself with his lifesteal, and I was actually losing him earlier in the fight than I felt like I should. I feel like Coffin Smasher actually gives me a more consistent run. It has Draco putting out the decreased defense and weaken at the times that he should, and overall I am actually very pleased for a rare. The fact that his HP burn does the full damage and not the 50% damage also makes him very viable in this comp. I have a couple of other comps that I am working on. As you can see, getting him geared up and built up cost my silver reserves quite a bit, so I'm going to go through, I'm going to do some dragon farming, and I will be back with you guys with a unconventional clan boss team comp, and once I get the silver and the gear to build that up. Appreciate it, guys. Have a great day, and I will catch you next time.